Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be doing a how to build on the brand new demonic beast Valenti. So this Valenti of course is used, she's mainly designed for the new demonic beast, which is the squirrel, but she can be used, I would say she's like quite good in bird and dogs. Deer, she kind of takes up a slot, she isn't the best, and I think Nidhogg's a little bit too gimmicky for her. Apart from that, she's very good. Of course, we'll get into that later on. But first, we look at her stats. So her CC is low because of the gear she is running, but 62,000 isn't bad. She's not True Awakened. I can True Awaken her, get her to 63, basically 64. Not bad. Her substats, she has high resistance because of the gear we're running. Pierce rate isn't bad. Regenerate, I don't really care. Crit chance and crit damage are kind of low, but it doesn't matter. Crit resistance actually isn't bad. 78% is not bad for a character of this age. She shares the same stats as Valenti Mark II, the original Mark II, which came out, I want to say, over 2 years ago at this point, which is a very long time ago. Grid defense is okay, which is a little higher, but it's not too bad, especially if you're running Glocks on the new demonic beast. You should be completely fine. I'm fine. You should be fine. Recovery rate, it doesn't matter. Lifesteal is okay, 7% isn't the best. Of course, no damage resistance because she's not True Awakened yet. Alt level, of course, she has 1/6. Let's go over her cards. She has a shock single target skill, which I think she's one of the few characters to actually have a shock single target skill. I don't think there are actually too many of them in the game. And the multiplier is actually not too bad. Of course, shock does last for 4 turns, but on, of course, demonic beasts, they're either all immune or, the new demonic beast after you've infected it, it will then immediately cleanse it the turn after. I'm pretty sure it does that at least. Release AoE, which is actually really good, especially for this new demonic beast, but just in general, release like a level 2 at 100%, because you can apply some nasty debuffs in this game, and especially with her ultimate. So her ultimate is the normal Valenti ultimate, but if you mix that with her passive, it's insane. But the best thing about her ultimate is it doesn't scale. The buff that she gets, the damage dealt, and the damage the damage dealt and the damage reduction does not scale with the ult level. As you can see, I'm 1/6, and I have 50% damage reduction and 50% damage dealt. The only thing that changes, as you can see here, is the actual multiplier of the ultimate itself, which doesn't really matter. Yeah, it could make a difference on the later floors if you really want to speedrun it, but if you don't really care, it's not that big of a problem. 1/6 is actually extremely good. You don't really need dupes for her, which is actually really nice to have a character that doesn't require dupes for a change, because we're sort of used to nowadays, 1/6, the character's missing half their ultimate. A good example of that is Gotha, where at 1/6 he does not disable the enemy, where at 2/6 he applies a disable with his ultimate. Melee at 1/6 does not have a single target damage reduction. At level 2/6 he does have single target damage reduction. And that's unfortunately how it's going to be, but it is what it is. Okay, onto her passive. In Demonic Beast Battle, as you can see, she is not linked to a single Demonic Beast. One debuff is removed from the allies, and their attack-related stats are increased by 8% up to 40% whenever the hero uses a skill that inflicts damage on the enemy. Of course, she only has damage-inflicting skills, so it doesn't matter, but she can give your entire team, no matter what Demonic Beast it is, 40% attack-related stats, as well as she can remove debuffs every time she plays a skill as well, which is quite nice. Especially on debuffs especially on Demonic Beasts like dogs, where it can just debuff spam you a lot. This can be quite handy. If the hero uses an AoE skill and deals damage, enemies hit by the attack are poisoned for 2 turns. That does also include her ultimate as well, so her release AoE and her ultimate do count towards that. In addition, if all allies participating in battle are all of different races, the HP related stats increase by 20%. But this is the bit I don't like. Heroes with additional races count as 2 races. So what that means, Red Freya, if you were to use her in Nidhogg, would count as unknown, and Goddess, that means you couldn't run LR Liz as well, which is the slight problem. I don't like it, but it also makes me feel like in the future we're going to see a lot more dual races, maybe with Four Knights, which does kind of make sense. Four Knights does have a lot of dual race characters in it, so we could see that, of course, later on. But what I like the most is that the only bit that really helps her with the new demonic beast is the poison bit. And that's the only bit of her passive that's kind of sort of limited to that demonic beast. But apart from that, the rest of it works. You can get the HP related stats, you can get the attack, which is insane. And I think that she's actually quite a good replacement to Red Tonar, especially if you don't have Red Tonar, but you've got this Valenti instead. She's actually quite a good replacement, and I think that it's quite doable, and actually she is quite optimal for it. Her Relic, it's actually not too bad, especially for the new demonic beasts. For the older ones, maybe it's not the best because they struggle to crit. But if a critical strike occurs from an enemy's attack onto one of the ally heroes, it can't be her. It has to be an ally hero. That's not her. The hero's attack is increased by 8% up to 5 times, which means you get an extra 40% attack. So with her passive and her Relic alone, you can get 80% attack, which, yeah, she doesn't have the best attack, yeah, stats aren't the best, but she can at least put out half-decent damage with, you know, her half-decent ultimate. Oh, yeah, her ultimate's not too bad. Her ultimate's actually quite good. Onto her gear. So as you can see, I'm running HP defense. The HP rolls are, and these, all these rolls are the same. It's just the defense rolls that are different, which are resistance. This is my green Valenti gear that I made 2 years ago, probably, and it's still quite good. I beat floor 3 with it. I guess the only real problem is that RNG, but RNG on that demonic beast is a problem no matter who you are. You know, you could be the biggest whale in the game, but RNG can completely screw you over. This gear is quite good. You then mix that with the ultimate. You got 50% damage reduction plus insanely high resistance. You know, you've then got LR Liz, which gives basic stats as well as defense if you use her buff. You've then got a Glocks, which gives you 40% defense related stats flat out, which is quite nice as well. It definitely does help her tank a lot more, which is the reason why I think it's viable definitely to run this gear on her, because of course Glocks does help her a lot. Outfits wise, all these outfits have been for free. So this one is of course from the Christmas Valenti. You then have this one which is Mark II, then you've got an event outfit, and you've got the current this character's outfit, this version of Valenti's outfit. Weapons wise, event, I would say this one's affinity, this one's an event, this one's from evolving the Christmas one, and this one's just free with every normal Mark II Valenti. Cosmetics wise, 2 Christmas ones, an event one, an affinity one, and another affinity one. Once again, all free. You don't really have to. If you really wanted to, I guess you could buy a weapon if you wanted 5 weapons, but I didn't personally see that being worth it. She's quite good. Like, I'll show you her damage quickly. What I mean by that, I mean I'll apply a shock debuff. We'll turn the ultimate off. I'll apply shock, so I can show you the AoE damage basically. Of course, this isn't demonic beast, so she's not going to be able to apply like her attack related stuff. Oh no, she doesn't even apply poison here. Okay. I thought she would at least be able to apply poison, but I guess she can't. AoE damage, go! Look, 180. Bear in mind, you saw her gear, right? Her gear is quite bad. That's quite good damage. Bear in mind, that's with no attack related stat boost from her own passive, because this isn't a demonic beast. You know, and on a demonic beast, you've got allies as well. She can hit quite hard, especially because the fact that the new demonic beast can have debuffs on it. She's really good. Would I recommend leveling her up? 100%. If you're a newer player and you've got it from the free multi, let's say you don't have Miguel, you don't have Red Toner, she's definitely a replacement. I would highly recommend leveling her up. You know, you can use her for Bird. I've made a video of me using her on Bird. I used her on Deer. Wouldn't really recommend using her on Deer. Of course, if you have Jormungandr, just run Jorm, and then you can just run 3 other DPSs of different attributes, and you'll be fine. And then Dogs, once again, I did another video on Dogs. She's quite good for Dogs as well. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.